customer state. Sometimes the wheel symbol pops up and the wheel becomes very tough to rotate. So the testing been done on this car. The troubleshooting is the position sensor inside the column wheel. We'll see if we're gonna be able to see the problem. So, oh my god, there's a little bit of traffic over here. And yet it's very cold today. It's 8 in the morning. It's very cold here. Let's see, good enough. .2 sterzo elettrico. Strange weather this morning. It's very cold and it is sun. Possibile ghiaccio su strada. Well, what I like about this tool, it does do a lot of things, but sometimes it thinks too much. Like you need a lot of time to make some communication. For example, with such things like steering wheel unit, airbag system, but engine control module, it does very quick. I don't know why, but and yet depends on what car you're doing this. Fiat, which is Lancia, which is obviously Fiat, sometimes it gets like too much time, but it's fine. It still works fine. Yep, as I saw here, you can see the code. Even so, we didn't have any trouble when we were testing the car. Still, it pops out this code, which means that the sensor is located inside this column wheel. So what we're gonna do right now, we're just gonna remove the wheel and remove the sensor, and we're gonna replace the sensor no matter what. Oh, sorry. Well, first of all, what we need to do to remove the airbag on top of the wheel, well, yes, you need to disconnect the supply, which I've already done. To remove the airbag, it might be a little bit tricky. I explain why, because sometimes those holes are like not broken, nobody touched it, so you might not think that you need to actually put the key inside through this plastic cover, I guess, not even the plastic, the resin, so rubber, I don't know what material it is. So what you need to do is actually a simple Torx key, which is T30, and what you need to do is just to put inside, and you need to find with this key a small wow, I've got interrupted by this client, unfortunately. I had to speak with him. So we've been talking about removing the airbag. What you need to do, this is the position of the key, and you might feel the pressure by this, I don't know how I actually call it. Yeah, whatever. So just push it. Just push it. Oh shit, I cannot do this by hand. Only one hand. Maybe I can. I hope you'll see. Push. One. The other side. Well, as you see, it might be very difficult to find the position. Oh, a spring. Yeah, it's called spring. It's not. Yep. This is the position. So you do the same thing on the other side. You push and you pull. Hello. And airbag is removed. So yes, you'll see how it works. Let me show you later. Now just to remove the connections behind the airbag. It's very simple. There is a plastic connector. I'm using my finger, and on the other part I'm using the screwdriver. Which might get a little bit tricky sometimes. And we don't want to break this. We don't want to break this. Done. And remove the cover of this connector. And airbag is removed. Now, the next thing, we need to remove the wheel. To do that, we need 24 key. By using that, we're just gonna block the wheel. Done. And we're just gonna bring up our tool. Well, as we said, 24 key. Pull. No. You are not able to see that, unfortunately. I cannot work with my hand, one hand sometimes. Now, we don't need this scan tool anymore. So before you remove the wheel, make sure the wheels are lined up. I put the key once again. Well, you're not gonna be able to make a mistake, since you have those lines that actually tells you how you're supposed to install back the wheel, steering wheel. So it's easy. Done. Now, yet I'm still working with my one hand, and you don't want to work with your one hand, because sometimes what? Nothing. Now what we need to do is to remove the whole plastic covers. Well, it's as easy. That's very easy. Using this key. Well, still, I'm in English. My English is not so good to be able to explain you the whole procedure of even such things like the keys. I don't know how you actually call it, because my whole story is I was born in Ukraine and I'm living in Italy for 16 years old, and yes, I can speak in Italian perfectly, and it's gonna be way easier to me to speak in Italian, but since I would like to show people my job, especially people from other countries in Europe, so I prefer to try my best to speak in English. If I recall, this plastic cover won't come up. Yes, it is. Oh shit, we need to remove this key. This is block shaft key. What it does, it blocks, well, I assume you know what it does. It blocks your column, so you're not going to be able to rotate the wheel. Besides its original blocking system, we're going to pull the wheel towards us, and it's already pulled, and let's proceed. Now we need to remove the whole command unit. Command unit? It is actually, oh, wrong key. No, it's not. Clock spring. Pull. Now it might be a little bit tricky to pull this command. Sometimes you need to use force, like that. But just to make sure that you won't break those plastic things that hold actually. Well, even if you break, it's not gonna happen nothing, because there is this metallic thing that holds the whole unit, so not a big deal. Yeah. Now, oh, that's tough to do with my one hand. No, ain't gonna happen. See why it doesn't come up. Then this one you push and pull, and the whole unit is installed. Now we'll see how it's gonna progress. What's the progress? Now we're gonna remove the immobilizer and bring the contact of the key. 1, 2. Done. Now, here is our sensor, which is a green. Well, based on the car, there is different types. It's a blue, green, yellow. We're gonna remove the, first of all we're gonna remove this metallic cover, then we're gonna pull the whole unit like here, like this. So, and inside we're gonna find our sensor. Finally I can work with my two hands. told the client that he needs to replace the battery as well. It's not a good state. Well, you might ask me how often you will see that this sensor breaks or malfunctioning. It happens quite a while, especially on Italian cars. And the reason why, well, I cannot explain you, is this is the mechanical, well, I assume that it's a mechanical issue, not like electrical. It might be as well, because there are some electrical components inside this sensor. It's not like the biggest components. I would say even that there are small resistances, and that's it. So it might, I mean, the battery could be the issue why the sensor breaks. Still, I told the client that he needs to replace the battery, and we're gonna do that. So the next thing what we're gonna do is, let me see, we're gonna remove those two 13 bolts, nuts actually. One, two. Yep, and this one can be removed. Now, before we're gonna remove the, no, it's not a big deal, later. You see, there is a big spring that you need to push inside and then to remove. Well, it took me for a while. I had to take this other tool, Beta, which is much better than GBM. So what happened here, we have removed this spring. I'm not gonna be able to see. So this is the big ass spring. So now we need to pull this half of the cone out. Now I see this already is moving, so it's in a good shape. We're in a good shape. I don't know why I took this. I mean, the sensor is broken. What's the whole thing? Yeah, whatever. And here we go. So here's the state of the car. We managed to see where the sensor is. Now it's been removed. Now we're just gonna pull very slowly and just make sure you don't break anything. So yeah, this is my job. So I've got the new sensor. I've already installed it, and I had some troubles with inserting the sensor inside, because you need to rotate a little bit the wheel, because otherwise you're not going to be able to put it in its place. And if you're going to do this job, make sure you're not going to pull the spring before, like after installing it. You need to do this before. So as you see, I've done the installation. Now I'm gonna pull this spring like that. So here's the thing. Before I complete the car, I've decided to run it a little bit, and I've decided to try with another scanning tool, just to make sure that everything is fine. Yes, I know that there is a airbag system which not works, but makes sense. And yes, I'm just gonna make sure that everything is fine, and everything works properly, that car does not like drives a little bit left or right side, you know, when you have the steering wheel lined up. So just to make sure about this car, I've done alignment of the wheels and the steering wheel. So just to make sure that everything is fine, everything works perfectly. And now I'm just gonna complete the car. I'm just gonna install back, and yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching.